Welcome everyone to episode 31 of Austin Ollie, a sports podcast. And it seems like we're going to have a lot of shit to talk about today.
I know. It feels good. I feel like it's been all right. Relatively decent.
Yeah. First week of MLB happened, or roughly 10 games now?
Yeah.
Games
yeah,
now?
we're starting to get into it.
Yeah, and then we have Mavs are still fucking heating up.
They look good.
We don't have to talk about the Cowboys.
Nah, we ain't talking about them.
Right?
Yeah, they're to the side. We ain't got to worry about them.
Okay, yeah. Some shit happened. Jerry is a bitch. I mean,
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care either. I'm not...
Indifferent to him at this point. Yeah.
And then someone asked me this weekend, it was like, are you a Cowboys fan? I was like,
Technically, yes.
I was like, it's complicated. It's complicated right now.
Technically,
it's complicated. Yes. Yeah. I think I'd rather be in a really toxic, complicated relationship than what I'm doing right now with the Cowboys.
Yeah, and the bad thing is, I think that I'm going to be back on the train come August.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, I don't even want to.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll probably hop a little bit on it depending on draft night.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, again, we usually do pretty good at that. But
it's still.
Yeah. All right,
anyway.
That's enough Cowboy talk. Before we get to the weekend recap, let's go ahead and plug in the socials.
Oh, yeah, plug the socials.
Yeah, we got Instagram, Austin_and_Ollie. TikTok, Austin Ollie all together. YouTube, Austin Ollie Sports Podcast. You're listening to us and you're watching. You guys killed it last week,
yes.
by the way.
Keep it up, baby. Hit the subscribe button on everything.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe on YouTube. Hit the subscribe on Spotify, Apple. Give us a little 5-star action, a little rate. If you're on YouTube, give us a little thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's big time. Big time.
I don't know what it was, but they just decided to pop off last week.
They're seeing our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
That's
right?
it.
Clear crystal connection, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I wish it was 4K.
It's close enough.
My computer can't handle all that. And clearly neither can CapCut or my phone.
No. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Over. Oh, all right.
Last new social, Twitter.
Oh,
X.
Twitter. X. Twitter, no, I'm calling it Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, at Austin_and_Ollie.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We're trying to get kind of in the comment sections and stuff, so if you see us tweeting about, give us a little conversation. Yeah. It's fun. I like Twitter. That's probably my preferred method of social media. I don't know about you.
I'm definitely on that way more than I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I know, for sure.
Everything pops up on there. The first news for everything.
That's my news source.
Baseball news, football news, Rangers news, literally everything is always there.
Political news, if you really want to get like that, it's all everywhere, baby.
Yeah, basically it is.
It's all there.
Yeah.
What did you get into this weekend? Anything?
What did I do this weekend? Nothing crazy. Well, I was at the Mavs game on Thursday.
Yeah, I feel like your weekend was action packed. You were doing something every day. It feels like.
I started on Thursday. So Thursday went to the Mavs game. Got there a little late, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
It was close for a little bit. We were down for
a minute at the beginning of the game.
We were down for a minute against the Hawks, and then it was really sloppy basketball at the very end.
Yeah, it was bad.
Teams were scoring up. I mean, the Mavs covered.
It was the last 4 to 8 minutes. It was just horrible.
Bad.
Yeah,
it was bad. Luka he scored no points in the first quarter.
No points in the fourth quarter either.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's
he went 0 for 11 in those 2 quarters.
Wow. Okay. See, that was just a slow day for him, and it's okay. I mean, you could tell his fatigue. He sat out against the Warriors, and we'll get to that. Obviously,
needed it.
Still toughed it out with this Mavs team. Don't even know what to say with them now. But that was that. Friday, I went out for some margs. Some people couldn't handle the margs. I was totally fine. I don't know what got into me, but I was fine. Everyone had
he's a
we
big
all had
dog.
2 margs, and everybody was like, dude,
you're straight.
I feel fine. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
It's probably,
would you consider that
it's probably a good thing. I mean, it's probably not a good thing in the grand scheme of things.
That's
but
what I'm saying, right?
In the grand scheme of things, it's not a good thing.
I was a dog in that night, but realistically, down the line, maybe you're just dude, you gotta
you gotta kind of slow it down.
Yeah.
And then what did we do Saturday?
Saturday was WrestleMania.
Saturday we were going crazy. I mean,
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure Austin will get into it more, but if you guys didn't watch WrestleMania, you guys missed out.
That shit was electric.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember Austin brought it up and was like, guys, WrestleMania, and I'll be honest, I was like,
you're sleeping.
No, I slept on it. I'm not gonna lie. I was snoring. And then came up and I watched WWE as a kid, and then all the guys that I used to watch all decided to come up out of nowhere. And I'm glad we did that Saturday night. It sounded like a snooze fest, having Wingstop and beers with the bros and Wingstop.
Nah, that was electric. That was great. It was great.
Fucking amazing. So you guys missed out. If you're a wrestling fan or not, it was
fun. Yeah,
and I feel like it got a lot of attention too.
Yeah, it did.
More than
it was big. It was massive. Yeah, it was massive.
It was a really big WrestleMania for sure. In the ratings wise,
they're saying it's probably the highest rated WrestleMania ever, which is crazy. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and then Sunday just Sunday League hooped per usual. Okay. Nothing crazy.
What was the stat line?
1 goal, 2 assists.
Okay, come on now. Okay, come on now.
So slight.
He's him.
Yeah, you could say. 2 marks, nothing happened to me. And I did hooped on a Sunday. What did I do Sunday? Oh, and then I went to the Ranger game on Sunday. Yep. It was probably one of the most boring games to be at.
Yeah, it was a bad game.
It was a good pitching duel, and we almost got no hit again. Yeah. Close. Back-to-back games for the Astros pitcher. And, yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was a lot of sports this weekend. I didn't mind it. I'll do it again.
I'll do it again every week. Yeah. Every weekend.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. I think Friday night just kind of hung out, chilled. Mm-hmm. Definitely on Saturday.
You got uninvited right from dinner? Is that what happened?
Nah, that was Thursday. That was Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, she's probably not even listening to this, which is crazy, but
right?
Yeah, I know.
You can let
I know. I can let it loose if I wanted to.
Whatever she did this week until
I got uninvited from dinner for my wife, which was crazy, but that's all right. You know, went to Pluckers, watched the Mavs game, had a nice beer with Raul. We were hanging out, beers with the bros all weekend. Yeah. Friday nothing really. Saturday though, I was low key kind of pumped for WrestleMania because I'm not an active WWE follower. Was definitely like a big follower as a kid. I definitely follow it through like social media and stuff like that. So I see all the TikToks, I see the tweets, and I kind of like just go that way. So it's WrestleMania, right? It's a big deal. It's like the Super Bowl. I was like, hey, beers, Wingstop, just chill. And we did that, and it was electric. We saw The Rock, we saw R-Truth. It was crazy. R-Truth was crazy. So it was fun. It was a good time. Sunday kind of did the same thing. I did some stuff around the house and went shopping, and then was able to get back and catch night 2 a little bit delayed, which was electric too. I wish I would have been doing something more for that. I was watching on my phone in bed, and I was like jumping up and down, and Emily was like, okay, like go to bed. Like, what are we doing here? But anyway, it was fun. So, with that, you ready to talk a little Mavs ball? A little action?
Yeah, I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, all right. So, just a quick week in review. Mavs are currently 48-30, which is good for the 5 seed in the West. I want to say we're currently 6 games back of the 1 seed. Obviously, that's not happening. Yeah. We're 2 games behind the Clippers, which are the 4 seed. And we are 2 games ahead of the Suns, which is the 6 seed. So, magic number is 2 games to clinch a bona fide playoff spot, so top 6 spot, which would be good if we win tonight, which I think currently we're up 58-36 on the Hornets. Yeah, we have a pretty good shot at doing that. I think we should clinch that. Shouldn't really be too big a big deal. Went 3-1 in the last week, which if you guys want to talk about it, we both said. Looking back on it, we said 3-1.
Yeah, that's what we said.
And I think we said exactly what was going to happen. We said we were going to lose at Golden State because they were on that win streak and they were due.
Yeah.
And then we said they were going to win the rest of the home games, which they did. First game they did, lost Golden State 104-100. I feel like really you could kind of tell that the fatigue of the win streak was kind of catching everybody.
Yeah.
I think there was really no significant offensive help. I think PJ kind of had a decent game. But, I mean, really, outside of that, Luka didn't really go crazy. I think our bench scored maybe 10 points, which wasn't really anything crazy. It was kind of weird because I felt like their bench, the Warriors' bench, was kind of more stopping us than anything, which was CP3, I think, had 14.
Oh, yeah.
And he was +8. I think there was a couple other guys that were hooping that were pretty good. But defensively, a lot of good stuff, right? I think that's kind of our calling card since the trade deadline is kind of defensively. We've had a top. I want to say we have the best lineup in terms of defensive rating per 100 possessions in the NBA since the trade deadline, which is that our starting lineup of Luka, Kai, Derrick Jones Jr., PJ, and Daniel Gafford, which I think is averaging 92-ish points per 100 possessions, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So defense kind of limited Steph, Clay, Draymond. I think Steph had 13 and 7. On 28% or so from the field, which is really good, especially from Steph. Obviously, right, Golden State's not the Golden State of old. I mean, they're they're the 10 seed, and they're kind of fighting to maybe get in the playoffs in the play-in, so obviously not looking good. So that was pretty much it. Atlanta, we beat them kind of like you had talked about, right, 109-95. Luke was bad in the first and the fourth quarter. He surprisingly, though, ended up with 25 and 8 and 25, 8 and 12 and a plus 21. And I think he was 0 for 11 from the field in the first quarter, or the first and fourth quarter. PJ had a great game. I think he had 19 or something like that, which was
19, 8 and 3.
Yeah, which was good. And then Kyrie, I think really since Kyrie's been healthy, he's kind of been carrying the load. Not carrying the load offensively, but he's showing why Kyrie is Kyrie. I think this is probably the best stretch of games from Kyrie's standpoint since he was with the Cavs in that championship year in 2016.
Yeah, he got Player of the Week for the first time since 8 years, I think.
Yeah,
it's been 8 years since he's been Player of the Week.
Which, hey, you know what he did 8 years ago? He won a championship. So hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just facts.
Yeah, I think he had 26 and 4. He was +7, which was awesome. I want to say he's getting really, really close to that 50-40-90 club.
Is he?
I think he's definitely at 40% from 3. I think he's at 40 or 41, and then he's at 91 or so from the free throw line. I think he's like 5 or 6 shots from the field to hit that 50-40-90, so pretty close. Second to last game of the week, Golden State 108-106 dub. Definitely a close game. It was another clutch game for the Mavs. No Luka, which was a big needed rest, and it was kind of good for morale to see, like, okay, if we don't have our best player, can we win a basketball game against a good team? Which the Golden State Warriors, even though they are the 10th seed, they are a good team, right? Yeah. PJ went absolutely bananas. He had 32 and 5. Shot 60, almost 67% from the field, and then what is that, like 5 of 8 or 6 of 8 from 3, which was awesome.
Yeah, 5 of 8. Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, I mean, another game, 26, 7 and 8, kind of distributing the load, and just showing right in clutch time, like this team is just electric, and they can close. I mean, Kyrie is just such a good fourth quarter scorer and such a like clutch player that it's been night and day difference from last year. Last game, Houston, overtime game, 147-136. First overtime game of the Mavs all season, which is crazy. They were the last team to have an overtime game. Mm-hmm. We were down 22 points in the first, come back on a massive run. I think it was like 17-5 or 22-5.
Yeah, so
run
I forgot what it was.
In the second quarter to I think we went into to win in the half, down 5, which was crazy. Dante Exum, probably one of the most clutch shots that we've seen all year. Hits a massive 3 as time expires to send it to OT. Kyrie is kind of the big story, right? I mean, he ended up with 48, 2 and 7. He was plus 21. Dante Exum, I mean, massive from a role player, 14 and 3. PJ Washington, 14 points, 13 boards. He hit 2 big threes in overtime to kind of almost to kind of kill the game, which I feel like. And then the biggest takeaway that I had from this was it kind of felt like a playoff rotation. We had 9 guys. The only guy that I feel like really got minutes that isn't going to get a ton of minutes in playoffs is Jaden Hardy, and I feel like he'll be replaced with Josh Green. But it was your main.
We were doing this without Josh Green.
Yeah, so Josh Green I think was a game time decision tonight, so I bet he comes back. He probably is back tomorrow, the next game, hopefully. But any big takeaways that you have from those 4 games? I mean, big week, a lot of really, really good results, needed results.
I mean, there's a lot of things you could take away from just these 4 games. Easily just one, like winning without Luka again.
Yeah.
We talked about it last couple of weeks. There's been a couple of times where Luka doesn't play. Well, he's been pretty healthy this year.
100%.
But him and Kyrie have been really healthy, and you haven't been worried about that. But last time he was out was OKC, and you kept it a one possession game.
It was close. Yeah,
and it was like against the number 1, number 2, or top 3 seed right now. And then you also have just now, like Luka has been playing really good basketball for a really long time.
Yeah,
and he's been healthy, and like he hasn't been able to afford to take that rest, which I give him mad respect. I mean, we've 100%. Seen it all around the league with load management and just like, hey, but Luka seems like the type of guy like, no, I want to keep playing.
Yeah,
but you kind of saw fatigue set in that Hawks game.
Yep.
Just know that. I mean, 25 points. I mean, that's still like.
Yeah, it's still great. It's still
a great stat line, for anyone. But for Luka, like that just shows what he is at and what he's capable of. You go, and it was an off night for him.
Yeah, and
he had no points in the first quarter. How many times have we seen all-star players not make any points in the first quarter all the time?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then for you to still push out and win that game with Luka having a quote unquote off night, massive, and then you afford to, or you're able to. I guess Jason Kidd or whoever had the decision to have him sit and go, we still need to win games, but we want to rest Luka because like clearly we see that he's getting tired.
Yeah,
he's getting tired. I'm telling you, like the way he's playing right now, with the highest ability that he is, and just doing all this is insane. And for him to sit against the Golden State, that's another team that's fighting for playoffs again.
Yeah. It
is one of the weakest Golden State teams you've seen in quite some time, but still, you can't just underestimate them. And clearly they fought it to the very end, and then clutch PJ. Get those. I mean, he missed the first free throw, but
unreal.
And then a really good defensive position on the other end. And then again, last takeaway for me is that Houston game. You could have easily chalked that game up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It was an absolutely horrific first quarter.
It was bad. It was really
terrible.
bad.
We didn't break 10 points until
I think it was for sure 22-5 at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So that you could have easily chalked that up. So I mean, just everything around this team looks amazing. Like I remember when we went on that playoff run. Obviously, it was like vibes were immaculate. That's kind of the things that were going on with like Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith. That's what it was back then. I don't know what they're calling it now. I'm sure there's something that'll come out here soon enough after we win our first playoff series, I hope. But just like you could have easily just put that game to bed and just go, you know what, it's okay. Like we'll lose one, right? And then I mean, ever since Houston went on that big ass run, and then now they're eliminated out of playoffs. And I forgot what player it was that said that was like, oh look at Houston, like come out to play or whatever. And then ever since then they've been losing every single game. But yeah, again, that game, and then you see Luka and Kyrie when the game ends, like hugging each other, like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. So I mean, everything looks like it's setting up for like really good success.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing to me, especially as a big turnaround from last year, was the record that we have in clutch games. I want to say last year we were probably one of the worst teams in clutch moments in the NBA. Now this year we for sure have the best record in the NBA. I think we're 21-7 in clutch games, which is anytime when a game is with 5 minutes to go in a game, it's with a 5-point game or something like that. And I mean, we played 3 games like that this past week with both Golden State games and the Rockets game this week or yesterday or Sunday. And to go 2-1 and to have that record is such a big boost for really playoffs, because I think it was JJ Redick that said it was Steph and then JJ Redick kind of corroborated it, but it's like one playoff game is the equivalent of 2 regular season games, just with the physicality, locking in on it. And at the end of the day, right, it's going to cause you to lock in and be like, all right, hey, like it's going to be a mentally taxing thing. It's going to be physically taxing, and it's going to get close because that's how the playoffs are, right? And to be able to have that and be like, all right, when it gets close, like we know how to play and we play successfully. So yeah, I think it's definitely good. It's exciting. I do want to ask you is, I guess, what do you think is stopping this team from having a legitimate shot to win the championship? Last week I kind of talked about, are the Mavs legitimate contenders, and I kind of laid a case out. But what do you think is the biggest issue that this team wouldn't have that ability to do so?
I hate to break it to you or just say it, but it might be Jason Kidd. If I'm being, I mean, right now he is.
We're off his ass.
We're off his ass. I mean, we're fired Jason Kidd, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
I mean, I just hope that Jason Kidd doesn't have, like, just a fucking, like...
a bozo moment?
Like a bozo moment, brain fart moment where he just starts, overcomplicating things. And just, I feel like that's going to be... And obviously, I mean, for every team, health is always going to be an issue. You want your team to be healthy. I mean, shit, we're doing this without Derek Lively. Like, we're having Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber getting most of the minutes at the 5.
That's crazy.
But you're doing this without Derek Lively, and he's been a very big key contributor to your success this year. Because imagine going from Gafford to Lively, right? Yeah. So that's insane. Like, it was Lively for a little bit, and we were on the bandwagon. We loved it, but then
Gafford
you get in foul trouble, and then you have to see Dwight Powell. But it's obviously health, and you still haven't seen him come back. I think he should be ready for the first series, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, I mean, stuff that's going to hold him back, I think, is that. And, I mean, before it used to be the clutch moments and the 3-ball. But you see, this team has been winning without making threes. Yeah. And I think because you didn't have that presence in the paint, you didn't know what to do. And, like, defenses could easily just be like, yeah, we can let them pass the ball to Dwight Powell. What's he going to do? Yeah, exactly. Or, like, Luka, just put all the load on Luka. But now it's like, no, if Luka's not there, you got Kyrie. And every now and then, I mean, P.J. Washington's heating up.
And I think PJ's kind of turning into a legitimate third option, right? Yeah. I mean, we just saw it. I mean, he just dropped 32. He dropped 19 against Atlanta. I mean, he's had 14 twice. I mean, he's averaging. I mean, he's definitely raised his average significantly, right? So I think that he's somebody that, if we need him to be that spark plug on offense, he has the ability to. Yeah. I mean, look at. I mean, as much as we shit on him, like Tim Hardaway. Like, Tim Hardaway is a guy that can go for 30 any given night.
Oh, yeah. You just don't know when it's going to be.
You just don't know when it's going to be. Thing, yeah. So, I don't know. I think that, like, to look optimistically, I mean, I think that this team has such a legitimate shot to. I mean, I don't understand why they're not.
No, I don't want to get it either.
Because I mean, I don't know if they're definitely not a favorite, right? They're not a favorite.
No.
You got the Celtics, you got the Nuggets.
Yeah.
You still have the Clippers. I think are still odds-on, pretty high favorites because of who they have. But I think that ultimately the Mavs are the scariest team coming into the playoffs. They're so hot. Yeah. I think they have the second best record or the best record in the NBA since then. Top 3 in defensive rating, top 3 in net rating, like just crazy, right? So, I mean, like you said, we've solved a lot of issues.
Yeah.
We used to have no interior presence. I mean, we have 2 guys that can do it now. Maxey too can do it. Yeah. It's not
consistent.
It's not consistent, but he can at least be that guy that if you need somebody to go to 5, if you need somebody to go out that has to get in space and can kind of defend, like he can do that too. He can shoot the 3. You have guys like Tim Hardaway that can get hot. You have guys like Josh Green that are great defenders.
Yeah.
PJ's a great defender. Dante Exum, I mean, he's like a third primary ball handler that you have that can play point guard, but can also defend, can also hit a big shot. Derek Jones Jr. is athletic. I mean, Kyrie's a fourth quarter monster.
Dude, he's insane.
I mean, and Luka's he's that guy. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm getting too excited.
I know, what you're saying, like, why? I mean, like, why not?
Why not? Why not us? Why not us?
No, I'm so like, why not? Like, I can't. I really want to like. I don't think I've ever been this excited for playoffs just because. I mean, yeah, the year we went like far, but it was like
we weren't expected to.
Yeah, it was a Cinderella run. It was like you did this. Like Luka was doing this. Jalen Brunson was playing at the peak of his career. I mean, obviously he's still getting there, but he was doing the best he could back then. But now, like, you actually have these expectations, like. I'm probably doing something that I shouldn't be doing. Is like getting my.
But look how we were with the Rangers last year, right? Yeah. Think about it. How many times we said, "Oh, this team's good. Oh, they suck again. Oh, this team's good. Yeah. Oh, they suck again." And then as we were going in the playoffs,
and that's what I told. Like, I don't know if basketball is the same as baseball. Because baseball is they're both long seasons. Yeah, correct, right? But baseball, there's so many more games to be played. You can afford to lose a game here and there. Basketball, you can somewhat, but we've gone like 15, or we won like 18 of.
I want to say we're
16 of 18, I think.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
Like that.
We're for sure on. I think it's 13-2, about to be 14-2.
Yeah, exactly. So those type of stretch of games is just insane, and it's. I mean, people are starting to recognize it. I mean, you see it like in the NBA. I mean, Luka's finally getting his flowers for. I don't know why it took this long, but
and the bad thing is it's gonna be too late.
And, player of the week stuff, and like Kyrie's doing all this. And once again, like I think the only thing, but I think primarily it's going to be health. I mean, that's what it's
I think health is a big thing
for any team. So hopefully, I mean, they get blessed and none of that stuff has to happen to them, God forbid. And then there's Jason Kidd that I don't know, maybe just shits the bed come playoff time. Because like you said, like recently we've been using our like you said,
like a playoff rotation.
8 guys?
9.
9?
9 minus 9. Josh Green and Derek Lively, and including
exactly right. So I mean. It looks like he's kind of somewhat getting to that point.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, it takes more toll on your body because it's also going to be guys are going to be playing like 30-plus minutes. No. You can't afford to just put in like, okay, let's put in these guys to get a rest. Like, no.
No. You gotta let these guys go, and you gotta let them go.
And then also time, I mean, depending on where you're playing, the TV timeouts are a little bit longer, so you'll be resting a bit longer. I've heard Luka says he's like, I love playing primetime because I can rest so much longer.
I can imagine.
He's like, I can rest so much longer just sitting on that bench. So that's going to be a plus. But I really I have.
It's dangerous. I never see. I'm excited because I never see him this excited and this optimistic, which is crazy.
And like I kind of like I lose track of time. Like I mean, the season ends this week.
Yeah, we have. 3 games left after tonight.
Yeah, I think last game is on Sunday. We have a back-to-back tomorrow, right, against the Heat.
Yeah.
On Wednesday against the Heat.
And then Friday and then Sunday.
Yeah. So and we close off to what, OKC?
We have
OKC Pistons and then OKC.
Yep.
So. Hopefully by then, I want to hope that we get to sit some players.
Yeah, I hope probably by
like we get solidified a spot.
Yeah, hopefully probably by tomorrow. I think we'll be able to see if we need to play players the rest of the last games.
What's pissing me off is also the Clippers not losing games. They were down by 20 against the Cavs.
Yeah, and they came back
when we came back too. So.
But yeah, so speaking of the playoff scenario, I did do us the favor of crafting what I think is the best case scenario, right? Mm-hmm. So, obviously, right, I'm thinking Mavs get the 4 seed. That's best case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be able to have home court for the first round matchup. it'd probably be the Clippers 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So to do that, we have to finish 3-1, and the Clippers finish 0-4, or we have to finish 4-0, and the Clippers finish 1-3. 0-4 probably not realistic. I think they play somebody stupid, but 1-3 is possibility. I think they play the Suns back-to-back tonight and tomorrow, and then they play maybe Washington.
So it goes, so Suns, and then Jazz Rockets.
Yeah,
so two teams that are just already out of it.
Yeah, so you're going to have to hope that maybe the Rockets kind of do something.
Yeah, play spoiler maybe, hopefully. But.
So it's not super likely, but again, ideal scenario.
Yeah.
And then ultimately from there, Nuggets finish as a 3 seed. For whatever way it ends up, the whole top of the West is pretty tight. I think it's Minnesota, Denver, OKC, all within a game of each other. So that can
Minnesota and the Nuggets are tied currently.
Yep.
54-24. And Thunder's right behind them, 53-25.
Yeah, so that's all. That can all shake out however it needs to. So that's legitimate. Lakers, currently they're the 9 seed. I want to say that they're tied with the 8 seed Kings and 1 game behind the 7 seed Pelicans. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I hope that they finish at the 7 seed, whether that's they end up as the 8 seed and they win the play-in for the 7, whatever. It doesn't really matter. That would set up a matchup with Minnesota or OKC, whichever. Probably OKC, I think, in the 2 seed.
Yeah.
From there, the Pelicans finish as the 8 seed. In the play-in, Golden State's out, Kings are out. That'd be nice. All right, so first round, you got Lakers, OKC. You got Mavs, Clippers, Denver, Suns, Pelicans, Minnesota. Wow. Mavs win that in 6. They got home court. They're winning game 6 at home.
Okay.
Lakers upset OKC. They got Braun. They got AD.
Yeah.
They got the experience to do so. I think that's realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Pelicans force Minnesota game 7.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That'd be super, super ideal. Super nice. Zion's playing well. CJ McCollum's a good player. Unfortunately, Brandon Ingram's hurt, but they said that he should be back in 2 weeks when he got injured, which is coming up to be right around playoff time, so maybe they can do that. They got great defenders in Herb Jones. I want to say they have another guy. I can't remember his name, but they got hoopers down there. That's a good team.
Yeah.
And then the Suns. The Suns update to Denver in 7. The Suns are kind of the one team that can actually, for whatever reason, just have Denver's number. Obviously, right, you got KD. It's KD. You got Book that can get hot.
Yeah.
You got Bradley Beal. The problem is they don't really have a big post defender. I mean, they have Yusuf Nurkic, which is okay, but obviously, right, you're gonna have to figure out a way to stop Jokic. So that sets up second round matchup. You got Mavs, Minnesota. You got Suns, Lakers.
Wow. Yeah.
Which should be fun. I think the Mavs still cook on Minnesota. I'm not a big Minnesota fan.
Oh no, I mean I love
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is a dog.
He's a dog.
That's the only player I like on their team.
But yeah, I mean I'm not concerned about Rudy Gobert on the offensive end.
Oh no, we've seen it before.
I'm not concerned about Cat on the defensive end. I think Karl Anthony Towns is hurt anyway, so he's not even really playing.
I don't think he's back yet, right?
No, if I'm correct, he's not back.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then obviously I think the Suns can beat LA as well. Just got the guys. They're going to hoop.
Yeah.
So it sets up Western Conference Final, Mavs Suns.
Oh my gosh.
Mavs take that shit in 7 because they're going to have home court.
Yeah.
And then anybody but the Celtics, we got that in 6.
I'm actually, I'm pretty scared about the Celtics. I mean, they have a damn good team.
Yeah, I mean,
I just kind of hope that someone bounces them, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks could do it. Not with Julius Randle, but I mean, you got the Bucks, and I'm not really worried about the Bucks because they don't really have good defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that.
All right, so that's what is that all your basketball talk?
That's Mavs talk, baby.
That's Mavs talk. Let's go out to in the outfield. I think someone's out there waiting for us. Yeah,
come on,
let's do it. Hey, come on. What everybody loves to hear and see if you're watching this on YouTube is all in the outfield. Hate to break it to you, Austin.
I see him. He's out there in center.
Yeah, look, it's Leote. It's Leote, and okay, we got it. So, baseball. I mean, obviously back a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of stuff going around baseball. One, I finally saw the baseball pants rip in action. The one that people have been
for real?
You haven't seen it? Yeah.
No, I didn't
Someone
see it.
slid into home and like his whole pants just like ass out, ripped out.
You saw his nutsack?
No, we did see that in spring training though. Oh God, no! I did see the eclipse. We didn't even talk about the eclipse.
I know the eclipse. That was big time. That was cool.
You said nutsack. The eclipse. You know. If you've seen the video, I guess. Got
God. Mexico.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's that. There's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, umpires have been. I mean, they've always been bad. I mean, that's the case for any sport. Refs are refs. Umps are umps. But they've been really bad this year.
Especially against the Rangers.
Especially against the Ranger. I mean, it's always against the Ranger. I mean, we already got screwed over with Jonah Heim's situation again.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wyatt Langford has struck it out a couple of times when, like, it's not even his fault. It's literally the strike.
I mean, it's like 2 foot off the plate.
Yeah, like, what is he... Like, he can't expand his zone more than that. Like, he just can't. Yeah. So, I mean, I just hope his confidence obviously is still there. He's still raking. He's still getting some hits during the last
hitting 3-hole tonight, too.
Exactly. Interesting lineup today,
by
the way.
We'll get there.
Yeah, Mookie Betts has gotten screwed over too. I saw a video yesterday. It was like same exact pitch, called it a ball. Same exact pitch again, strikeout.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But that's that. I just want to briefly talk about how just bad the umps have been. Something that we'll focus on a little bit more right now is that. Oh, okay. Let's see. I just like this tweet, and I'm gonna name all the players that have been hurt. It's a very long list. Josiah Gray, Nick Pivetta, Jonathan Loziga, Framber Valdez, Shane Bieber, Spencer Strider, Yuri Perez, Sandy Alcantara, Jacob deGrom, Tyler Mahle, Jordan Romano, Anthony DeSclafani.
That looks good.
Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy, Lucas Giolito, Kyle Bradish, Robbie Ray, Felix Bautista, Shane McClanahan, Shane Baz, Jeffrey Springs, Drew Rasmussen. I don't know. He's from the Rays. Walker Buehler, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, German Marquez, Anthony Sensatella, and Lance McCullers. All have been hurt.
That's crazy.
For elbow.
And did you have Garrett Cole?
Oh, no, not even Garrett Cole.
Yeah, Garrett Cole's there too.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, yeah.
Garrett Cole's there too.
But yeah, so that's been a big talk again.
Yeah, it's
obviously
crazy.
Over everything. I mean, they talked about it last year with the whole pitch clock thing. They thought that was kind of... I mean, people still kind of think that's a problem, but I don't think they can prove it just yet because people were still getting hurt even when...
I mean, yeah, they were
an extended run of time, whatever you want to do. People still got hurt.
Yep.
So, I mean, what people are kind of getting the common sense is that maybe it's the people just emphasizing that you got to throw heat, you got to throw more power.
Yeah, because it's typically, I mean, pretty much everyone on there throws, 95 plus, or majority of them do, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying that that's so much stress on the UCL and the elbow that it's ultimately causing the deterioration of said elbow.
Yeah, in general, like I mean, hands aren't supposed to be doing that for that.
No.
If you see videos of like a slow motion pitcher, so much stress and so much like everything is going on in their body.
Yeah,
which is why like starters can only pitch like every 5 days.
And it's the majority of those people are starters, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so and it's just the prolonged usage of something that hard is just it's not what the human body should be doing.
No, exactly. And I mean, people were talking about. I saw a video today. It was like Chapman, like still throwing like 100 plus for 14 plus season. And everyone else like throwing out their elbows. But then obviously it's like
he's
throwing.
You
said,
12 pitches an inning.
12, 15 pitches, max 20.
Yeah.
But then you have starting pitchers that are doing this and like. I mean, yes. I don't think did I mention Spencer Strider in that list?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, Spencer Strider just kind of got hurt too, and his fastball was down, so that's on that. And then there was a thing about Justin Verlander. Quick, like he talked about. How everyone's emphasizing like no, you gotta throw a heat like everything has to be like 95 plus, and he was like I wasn't throwing hard until like college.
Yeah,
like I make sure I got the fundamentals right, pitching when I was supposed to, and then that was that. And he was like I didn't start doing that till college. So obviously a lot of stuff here. I mean, parents are emphasizing that on their kids and the Myers. I mean, they don't throw the ball as hard as they used to back then. I mean, or how they do now. It was nowhere remotely close to what it was back then. So I keep seeing videos of like these strikeouts and these pitchers throwing like 89 miles per hour or 90, 91, 92. And it's like, let's go back to this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case. And then also there was that talking with Tyler Glasnow. You said you kind
of saw. Basically, Tyler Glasnow was. I think this was back right when he was still with the Rays at the time. Whenever the MLB started cracking down on like sticky stuff and all that, and basically the gist of it was, why is that not considered a reason why people's elbows have been going? Which makes sense, right? I mean, you have the sticky stuff. It's kind of causing you to not have to grip as hard, which is in turn like traveling up the forearm and then into the elbow, right? So all that stuff's connected, and it's allowing you to do more with less strain on the elbow too, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe that's something. I want to say that I've seen, pictures and stuff like that of basically just pitching form. from, back like when Nolan Ryan was throwing heat to when like to now, where ultimately, right, like I think some people's arms are like almost like flat versus, kind of how it's over top now. So I don't know, man. I'm obviously right. I'm not a biomechanics guy in terms of specifically when it comes to pitchers, but I think it kind of makes sense. And I think, sure, maybe pitch clock does put a little bit more stress in a short amount of time, but I think ultimately it's just, I think velocity and just the amount of stress, repeatedly time and time again isn't good.
Yeah, I know it's something like, obviously everyone's pointing fingers. When do they not? And everyone's pointing fingers at the pitch clock. But there's a lot of people that, even like professional baseball players, are saying that's not the case. It's not that. So, it could be. I think there needs to be more of a sample size, but the number of injuries that are going on right now is insane. But let's take into injuries real quick. Trevor Story's out for the season. I don't know if you're
what did he do?
Trevor Story. But he just, it was his shoulder. I saw the play today. He just dove, and it looked like he did land like kind of unnatural. Mm-hmm. I think he just dislocated it, so he's out for the season.
That's tough.
Yeah, and I was seeing like these TikToks of like past players of like what happened to these people, and one of them was Trevor Story. I remember the Rangers were pursuing Trevor Story because he's a Texas kid. He's from here. And then I remember we didn't end up signing him. I was very disappointed, but then we got Corey Seager.
So it's not too bad.
But bummer for him. He's been kind of on a slow start too. He started really slowly with the Red Sox last year, but he was a key guy with the Rockies whenever they were doing whatever they were back then. So that's a bummer to see him go. And you have Mike Trout, like showing why he's still the best player in the league when he's healthy. He's like leading the league or tied the league in homers, but he also only has like 6 RBIs, I think, with 5 homers. So like no one's getting on base on that damn Angel team. But they're starting off pretty nicely. They're not too terrible. A lot of teams starting off really good. The Pirates are doing really good. The Angels are doing pretty good. The Tigers were doing pretty good.
Yeah, the Tigers weren't bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who's been really. The Yankees are.
Oh, the Yankees.
The Yankees are cooking. Juan Soto's kind of been. I want to say Juan Soto's been balling,
Juan Soto's a dog. I saw him. He signed like a bat, like in the middle of a game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And there was a controversy with that, but I thought that was funny. Shit. I don't know the whole context of that video.
Whatever.
But so that's all my around the world stuff for baseball. We'll get to the Rangers.
Let's get it, baby.
So the Texas Rangers are 6-4. They also almost got no hit. Totally at the game that I was at. Ronel Blanco threw his no hitter. Was it his MLB debut?
It was the first start of the season. I think it was his 8th start ever, and then.
Oh, okay. So is this? Yeah. So I think he had the record for most innings pitched without giving up a hit to start the season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was 14?
It was 14.1, 14.2 maybe.
Yeah. So I was getting really worried because I was like, oh, dude, this guy's due. Like, they got a scouting report on him.
I was like, oh, there's no way he does it 2 games in a row,
bro.
And then he did.
Dude, I was sitting there and I just kept going by and I was like, guys, let's just get a hit, just a hit. And it was going by. And it was like, again, it was a really slow game. It was a good pitching duo. Dane Dunning. Yeah. That's the bad thing about baseball. He walked 2 guys. He threw 1 bad pitch to Yordan Alvarez, the best pitcher or the best hitter in baseball. And he's not gonna forgive that. So he pimps it 3-0. And, other than that, Dane Dunning had a really good night. Yeah. Really good night.
It's been a great start to the season for him.
Yeah, for him. And then Cody Bradford, too. I told you, I mentioned it here on the podcast. I was been a truther. Saw some good stuff with him last year, and he's doing a damn good job right now. Yep. He is tied for most innings pitched with for the Rangers with Uvalde, so they're at 13 apiece, I think. Yeah. So, for you to be that many innings pitched already in the second game of the season, and you have the most as your ace, and you're like the...
he's the third. I think he's 3. Yeah, because it's Uvalde, Gray, Dunning.
No, I think he's actually... he's actually the second guy.
It doesn't.
He might pitch tomorrow. I don't know. I keep forgetting the rotation.
I can't forget.
Because I think we go righty lefty, righty lefty. I think because Heaney's the 5th guy, and Heaney's been stinking it up. We'll get to him.
Stinks. Yeah, that's bad.
But props to him. He's doing pretty good, and he looks cool, calm, and collected almost every single night.
With them glasses, baby, with the reg specs.
Dude, man, Dane Dunning, man, I'm telling you. So, but he had 2. He walked back-to-back guys. I told Raul, I was like, dude, you don't want to walk 2 guys in front of Yordan, because now you have to pitch at him, and then that happened. So props to him for doing that. The upcoming series right now, we're going against Oakland, and it looks like it's 1-1.
1-0.
Oh, 1-0. Okay, I thought I saw 1-1. So 1-0. We have other new faces. We had Justin Foskey play like 2 plate appearances, and then he got hurt in his first hit of the game. or his first hit of his career. He got hurt. Little oblique strain or something. I don't know. Baseball shit, I guess. And then that led to a call-up for Davis Wenzel.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Davis Wenzel is making his MLB debut at third base today. Drafted in 2019, 41st overall pick from Baylor. Took him a while to get here. Just didn't seem to pan out, but it looks like he's in a streaky start right now to start off the year. He's hitting .314.
He had 30 home runs at AAA last year, which is crazy.
Runs, big power hitter, and he already had 3 home runs in his first 9 games this season. So maybe he's the next man up mentality. I mean, pick the Oakland A's. I mean, that's a pretty good time to start.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it looks like Rangers already getting hit with injuries pretty quickly, and it's not helping that your pitching staff is kind of worrying you somewhat, a little bit. I mean, John Gray, back-to-back starts where he just hasn't been able to settle in. But like we mentioned before, we know that John Gray is the type of guy that can
rebound,
get you like 6 innings and like 3 earned runs, which is really good or under, or he won't even get out 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then Brock Burke, once again, everybody was killing him or slandering him on Twitter. I felt bad for him because when we were like in the dog days, he was our best pitcher, our best reliever. His rookie year, he had like a sub-2 ERA, like 1.62, I think, or something around there. So, and then Bochy comes around, and like you just keep losing faith in him, trusting him, and then clearly we know now why. He was like in the high 4s last year, and then right now in the situations that he's been in, he only had I think 4 pitches yesterday. Yeah. In the game on Monday to close out, he only had 4 pitches, and he got pulled right away. So he's on a very short leash. And then Heaney too. I mean, but we know Heaney's capable of, like, that's just fucking Heaney.
I mean, because he didn't in the postseason, he kind of transitioned to a bullpen role.
Yeah, because like I think he's best in the bullpen. He wasn't supposed to start in the.
He has what? He has he basically has 3 pitches. So I mean, once you go through the lineup twice. Yeah. With him, it's kind of like, okay, you know exactly what you're about to get.
And it's either, like he said yesterday, he wasn't comfortable, he wasn't landing his pitches where he wanted to. It's obviously led to walks and hits. And when we gave him enough lead, I mean, he gave up 2 in the first inning, and then we came back and put up 5. And then
poor guy.
So then that's the bad thing about him. It's either he's on or not, but we knew that about him. But another guy we want to like spotlight is Jose Urena.
Yep, stud.
Absolutely been dogging it up for the Rangers. He is a starter. He need to be a starter, and he's also like a long reliever. So he started off with the Marlins. He had a pretty good start there at 343 innings, and he had like a 3.9 ERA over 59 starts, which is pretty good.
Sweet.
But then after that, the next 5 seasons, his ERA was above 5.
Yeah.
So that's where the downfall happened. He got signed to the Rockies. He did pretty good there. They re-signed him for $3 million. They said, "Okay, dude, like you did pretty good with us." He gets absolutely shelled, like 20 runs and 18 innings pitched the next year. And then gets released, and then he got signed to the White Sox in the minor leagues. He had 5 starts there, like 26 innings. He had a 4.10 ERA, which is okay, 18% strikeout rate, 7% walk rate, and 50% grounder rate. So half the time it's going to be balls on the ground, which is good. But yeah, and then so he's been dogging it up for us. He has 7 1/3 inning pitched, hasn't given up any runs, only 2 hits, 2 walks, and 7 Ks as a long reliever. And we knew he was capable of being a starter role. And if he does go in that for Heaney, most likely, put Heaney back in the bullpen.
Yep.
And that brings you...
that gives you 2 lefties in the bullpen.
Yeah. And then Lorenzen, I forget, we have Lorenzen too. So that gives him... They were saying that start for Urena is kind of like easing up the return of... Lorenzen, so he doesn't have to rush over here so far, like, too quick. And he can just take his time in the minors. Then whenever he's ready, then he can come back up. But we know Bochy, he doesn't mess around with this shit, so... Yeah. Once he sees one person go down, I mean, I think Brock Burke has probably one more start in him, and if he doesn't click there, then
see you later, boss.
See you later. And I would hate to see him, because like I said, I think he was pitcher of the year for the Rangers his rookie year.
Dang.
So
fall from grace.
But that's the thing about relievers here in baseball. I mean,
that's baseball, baby. That's how it works.
Especially for pitchers, though, like it's
such a mental, it's such a mental thing.
And it is, like we talked about it last podcast, how like mentally it is for them. Like one day you can be. Okay, I shut the bed. How are you going to respond? You have to go again, or you're a starter and you get to sit on that for 4 days. Like John Gray, again, is probably thinking about his start today.
Yep.
Again. What else do we got? We talked about Foscue. And some guys are getting hot, somewhat. I guess Carter.
Yeah.
And he bumped that average up to 172, baby.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Yeah, it was at 0 last time we recorded this podcast. He's got that 661 OPS, 9 walks, and 3 Ks. So, like, if he keeps doing that, keep that going up.
Jonah Heim finally getting a home run tonight.
Okay.
Which is big time. Just happened. 2-1.
There we go. Yeah, Jonah Heim, he's not shooting in too bad. I think he's hitting, like, right now he's probably like at 240 something.
Yeah, it's not
like
great.
At 235, but it's all right for a catcher. But we have that, and Jared Walsh keeps tearing it up. He just keeps getting on. But they keep showing the stat line. I think he was already good at Globe Life Field when he was with the Angels.
Yep.
So they just keep showing like the stats of him at Globe Life Field now that he's a Ranger, and it's just like over 300.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
nice.
So he's dogging it up right there, and defensively as well.
He's been great.
Well.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's been looking pretty well. I've seen him make some diving catches, some good picks. I've also seen him mess up like once or twice, but it happens. And it just kind of makes you think like you technically have like 4 first basemen.
Yeah, with Foscue.
Ezekiel's capable of playing it. Nathaniel Lowe, and then you have obviously Jared Walsh.
I think Josh Smith can play first. Probably,
like if you wanted to, but like I mean, he's taking at like shortstop or shortstop or third base.
Yeah.
Which leads to like maybe you trade one of your guys. I don't know if Jared Walsh or I mean.
Are you gonna trade Zeke again? Are you gonna try and?
No, not really. I wasn't even gonna go with that. Because Zeke isn't getting that much like notable playing time. I wonder why.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay. But obviously, I mean, Bruce Bochy really likes the splits of the platoon of lefty righties.
Yeah.
So obviously, whatever the starting pitcher is, like
opposite
against Houston, like if it's a righty, that whole bottom line was just lefty, 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 lefty. It's like we're gonna give you hell.
Yeah.
Well, he did for like half of the games. But I was thinking maybe Nathaniel Lowe gets traded. Like I would hate for him to be traded because that's one of my
it's
guys.
crazy. Yeah.
But I mean, he is a Gold Glove. You could probably get more out of him. And I think if anyone gets dealt this year, I'm not saying it's be him, but it might be.
What's his contract situation? Do you know?
I think he's still in arbitration.
That's crazy. Yeah, he was definitely in arbitration this past year.
Yeah, I think so. Or some shit like I don't know because I mean we got him from Tampa.
That's so crazy. I mean, think about it. Like he's been in the lineup for the last what?
In the dog days, bro. Like he's been like I think with the Rangers for 3 years now.
Yeah,
I think this is his 4th season with the Rangers.
4th year. So I mean, and to go from that to all of a sudden you have guys like, I mean, Walsh that can do that. I mean, Foscue can do it, and I mean he's the number 5 or 7 prospect that we have. Mm-hmm. I mean, Z can do it, and I mean we said how good of a utility player that he's been, right? So I think ultimately. It's kind of crazy. It's like it's a embarrassment of riches, and I mean, what are we gonna do, right? Like, it's a good problem to have.
No, definitely. At the end of the day. Having that many first basemen because it used to be like we had no one because it was just Nathaniel and be like he'd play every single day.
I mean, who when he needed a rest day last year, who did that? Was it Zeke?
I saw Zeke sometimes play first. Who else would play first?
Garver didn't, right?
No, not Garver. I know Sam. Did Sam Huff play first? No, he was way too big for first. Now you got me thinking. Who else was a first baseman last year?
I don't even remember.
Because Nathaniel played like a lot last year. Like I said, I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah, first. I have no idea. I couldn't remember.
I'm going to be stupid when I find out who it was going to be.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. You keep talking.
If we figure it out, we figure it out. But but I feel like definitely one of the positions that would be dealt with for getting another like a starter. Or just like a bullpen arm would definitely be one of the first basemen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which it could possibly be Foscue to think about. I mean, if he's not going to get the run here, if someone values him.
I mean, we basically did that with Cole Reagans, right?
Yeah, and if he's probably going to go out there and do something, and you're just going to be pissed. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Cole Reagans. I mean, Martin Perez today pitched like 7 shutout innings, I think, for the Pirates. So.
Yeah. What are you going to do, man?
What are you going to do?
It wasn't Jonathan Ornelas, was it? I don't know.
Not consistently.
No, Nathaniel Lowe played 161 games.
Golly. Okay, no wonder why I couldn't think of who else played first base.
Games.
Golly, yeah, because we had no one else. I mean, I'm sure someone was capable. Like Ezekiel was capable of doing it.
That's crazy. 161 games.
Wow, what a dog. Yeah, I would hate to see him go, but I mean, just something to put out there that don't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah. Kind of crazy thing about, I mean, I want to say we're leading the MLB in runs, and Josh Young is hurt. Who else isn't playing? I mean, Nathaniel Lowe isn't playing. He's a Silver Slugger.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we still got. I mean, Foscue hasn't gotten any run. Mm-mm. I mean, really,
like Evan Carter's on a slow run. Like
Evan Carter's slow. Wyatt Langford's on a slow start.
Yeah, he hasn't homered yet.
Who else? Jonah Heim. I think he was a 270, 280 guy last year, and he's hitting 230, 240.
Something around there.
So I mean, it's crazy to think about. Just whenever this whole thing gets, it's so nice to have because. maybe this team isn't ever going to get to the point where it's completely clicking,
mm-hmm.
but you have enough like ammo, or you have enough weapons in the shed, right, that you're going to get runs pretty damn consistently.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. It's nice, and it's a good problem to have, I would say.
Yeah, and then just like the last game just now with the Astros with Dane Dunning, like he just had no run support, sadly for him.
Yeah.
He was able to he pitched, only gave up 3 runs, and we didn't string anything along until the very end. But it's going to happen with your offense. I mean, like, yeah, if you would have scored 5 like you did on Sunday, you would have won the game. But no, your bullpen gave up 10, or your pitching gave up 10. But like you said, our offense has really been there almost every game. If you look at the numbers from the beginning of the season, 4, 11, 5, 10, 7, 1, 5.
Yeah.
That's the lowest you scored all season so far was the 1. You almost got shut out.
Yeah.
But you kept that alive. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the lowest runs you had scored was 4. And that wasn't a win. So.
Yeah, I like it.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, bats get cold.
It's going to happen.
Bats get cold and your pitch is going to be good. I mean, but that's what baseball is. It's a long
season. A lot of games.
It's a lot of games.
It's crazy. I was looking at the schedule on like Baseball Reference, and the way it has like all the games, and it shows like an empty space for where you have off days. And the number, I think you have less than 20 off days in the season, which is crazy to think about. I mean, there's just always baseball going on, which is awesome. I mean, it's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at what is that, May?
Right
May,
here.
you have 6 off days in May.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, just unreal. So it's a lot of baseball. Guys are going to get hurt, but yeah, it's good. It's a good problem to have.
We're just like, man, that's a lot of fucking baseball. You must really love the sport to be doing that. I mean,
got to
like
do
Simeon,
got to do it.
Playing, he had
day
the most
in, day
at-bats or most games ever played in the season.
Day in, day out. Crazy.
Could you do it? Yeah, if you could do it.
I mean, if I'm getting paid what Marcus Simeon's getting paid, trust me, I could go out there with a torn ACL and play, baby. I'll do whatever you need.
Oh, yeah, but, oh, man, yeah. That's,
anyway,
I mean, we have Oakland real quickly, and we have Oakland right now, 3 games, and then we go back to Houston. I'll be at the Saturday game on Houston.
Come on now.
Yeah, I hate going over there, man. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's tough.
But, hey, what can you do? You got to go support your team. And then you play Detroit for another 4-game series next week, and we can probably get more into that next week.
Yep.
We'll see how our team goes.
Prediction over the next, what is that? Let's say starting tonight. So we got the next 3 games, Oakland and Houston.
Damn, I would really want to sweep. I'm going to go 3, you take 1. I think you lose we haven't lost a series this year, so I think, nah, you know what? I'm going to be, damn, am I really going to be this confident? Screw it. We sweep Oakland. We take 2 in Houston, so that's 5 and
crazy.
1. And then, you want me to talk about the Detroit series too?
Yeah, you can take Detroit.
So that's 4 games in Detroit, and I think you take 3 there.
So you're saying 8 and 2.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I got us 2 and 1 in Oakland. Drop 1 randomly.
Oh fuck! Don't want you to.
I'm gonna be the pessimist one here.
Wow. Okay, someone's got to do it.
I got us dropping 2 in Houston, so that's 3 and 3, and I think we go 3 and 1 in Detroit, so 6 and 4.
So how we started the season.
Which
is not like if you stay at that consistent base, like if you just like.
You're still okay.
Right now, we kept winning at least 2 of our series, like
2 games of our series.
Yeah, which is like if you're doing that all year, you're in great hands.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So yeah, I would take that again.
And then I do want to personally give a shout out to the guy that I'm the biggest hater of, Josh Smith.
Woohoo! I actually absolutely hate Josh Smith.
FJS. Now. I'm still gonna keep saying it, FJS, but that man is hooping right now. I can't deny it.
I'm surprised.
I can't.
Did someone pay you to do this?
No.
Because I'm very surprised.
I just had to. I felt like I had to get something off my chest.
Wow.
Had to get something off my chest. And
wow.
I
didn't think you had it in you.
I can be the bigger man and say that man is hooping, but I promise you, I'm looking the camera dead in the eye right now. When his downfall comes, I'll be jumping for joy, baby. I'll be jumping for joy.
You must have been like I would have been on all fours, bro. If like they were chanting MVP for him.
I was sick. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna lie. FJS, baby. I'm not gonna lie.
He was signing autographs. I think today, right? Was it today?
Yeah, I wouldn't be there. You ain't catch me there.
I thought you were gonna miss this because you were gonna go get autographs from Josh Smith.
Okay, buddy. Okay, come on now. But I don't know. You got any other final thoughts? Anything like that you want to talk about?
FJS. I didn't have anything against it, but now
you do.
I have
now you do.
Against him.
Now you do.
Hey,
welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to the club.
Thanks. I didn't think I was going to join it, but hey, I'm here.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's kind of a pretty easy episode this week, right?
Yeah, right. Just strictly Mavs. I mean, I think next week's gonna be a really good episode, knowing how
we're
gonna know the playoff situation.
Yep.
And we got playing. And I feel we'll more deeply talk about obviously more basketball around the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Not just strictly Mavericks. We'll talk about their teams that are going around.
Yep.
Playoff matchups, what we think. So it'll be an action-packed episode like it was today. Same again next week.
A lot of big stuff. So we're pumped.
The Rangers do for their first trip down at the armpit.
Yeah, I love that. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was another episode of Austin and Ollie Sports Podcast. Don't forget, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I think we're Google Play, all the podcasts.
Yeah, wherever you get your
platforms.
Podcasts. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe, give us a rate, 5 stars, please. And then let everybody know. Spread the word about it. We had a good week this week. Let's keep the momentum up. Let's keep building. Finally got a TikTok out.
Oh, I know.
Big time.
Yeah, we're
gonna get 2 this week. That's the goal too. But yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Austin_in_Ollie, Twitter at Austin_in_Ollie as well, TikTok at Austin and Ollie. You can follow my personal stuff, all at ATXNAV. All of his stuff is, I think, at Ollie Placencia.
Yeah, keep it easy.
All that stuff is in our show notes, so please check it out.
Yep.
But guys, until next week, we'll see you next time. Peace.
See you, brother.
Tuesday.